We play that music while that's on there.
God, that music is insane, though.
Yeah, it's deep up in your head too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So then I'll be thinking about that shit all day.
Yeah.
I showed Tasha that scene, and she's like, "Oh Lord, she needs to shave that thing."
Yeah, it's she needed bigger panties or whatever in the front,
Right.
because there's this little bit of a spreadage of stuff going on there.
Oh yeah.
That scene is insane, man.
Yeah.
But it just keeps carrying. I know we're going to come into it, but it just keeps carrying on,
Yeah.
scene after scene after scene. It never lets up. Like, it's so funny.
But I guess we'll start with recent watches. We'll start with Dirk as usual.
All right. Yeah, man. So I know I recently covered these on the channel with Brian Goes Blue, but I won't go too deep into it. But so I figured it was appropriate though for what we're doing, right? So the strange hostel of naked pleasures from the Coffin Joe said. But I mean, I really dig this artwork a little better.
Oh yeah, that looks crazy.
That's really cool. But
yeah,
this movie is it's a strange one. I guess all of them are really, but it's kind of like it's got like the old gothic horror trope where there's a storm and all these people got to come in from the storm, so they come to this hotel and shit. And anyway, in this one though, they can't all stay there at the hostel. And then he's like turning people away. Only 12 people can stay there. But then you find out later why. It's got this one couple. It's like they're neck kissing and titty sucking for like 30 minutes, throughout the whole movie.
So it's like a Jess Franco movie.
I'm like, because it intercuts to other scenes, then it goes back to them, and it's like, damn. I mean, I understand foreplay, but shit, let's. Is that all you're gonna do? But anyway, so it's a strange one, man. It's not the highest tier of the set, and the other one I'll briefly kind of barely mention. It's the worst one of the set. I gotta say, and it's this shit here, When the Gods Fall Asleep.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that one.
That's a sequel to the to another one, right? Or is that the first? There's like
It's a sequel to the End of Man. I like the End of Man, and this other character, Finis Hominis. He's like the alter ego of Coffin Joe. So instead of being a dickhead to everybody, he's going around trying to save humanity and shit, and he's correcting everybody, preaching at them. It does have one crazy ass scene. There's like a viewer discretion before it happens, where people are eating live chickens. I mean, they're biting the heads off of chickens. It's like a voodoo kind of scene, but there is a discretion before the scene begins. It says, if you're, kind of squeamish to that shit, hold out for 5 minutes or whatever. But it shows them like all these people like acting crazy, spasming out and shit, biting the heads off chickens and eating the fucking chickens while they're alive. I was like, holy shit, man. But I don't know. I give that one like a 1, man. It's the worst one out of the whole Coffin Joe set. But
Dirk, there's a reason I didn't go on that stream and review those films, because I knew I just wouldn't like them.
It's only the one though. That's the only one
yeah,
shit. There's 11 films. That's the only one that I haven't liked so far. So.
You like Awaken the Beast?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Awakening the Beast. I just found that one weird. I mean, I know it wasn't released for years over there, but I don't know. It just seemed I don't know. I didn't care for it that much, but
it's a weird one. I get what he's saying though. That like the drugs aren't what people are fucked up. Drugs don't make them fucked up. Like I mean, it does, but anyway, I'm not gonna go too deep into that shit. But so, and then I guess the last one I'll talk about is which we'll be doing soon. Creature from Black Lake.
Oh yeah, from Oil City.
Yeah, man. I went to Oil City yesterday and shot a bunch of footage
Oh,
of some of the locations because I'm only like 40 minutes away. And I
nice.
talked to some of the town folk. Man, that town is like a damn ghost town, by the way. But
Well, it looked very rural back then.
yeah, but it was a Saturday. There was no cars nowhere. I was like, what the hell? And old buildings, everything's like run down. But anyway, it was really cool. We'll be doing this on the Dead End Drive-In shortly, though. Not too long. But really, this one has this is Dean Cundy's. This is before Halloween, so Dean Cundy's the cinematographer on this. 2 years before Halloween or whatever. But I dig this one. Plus, it's because I recognize the locations and shit. It's a little different for me.
Does it hold up though? Because I remember seeing that about 10, 15 years ago, and it was kind of slow.
No, it's a decent. It's a pretty good Bigfoot movie. It's a made-for-TV movie. You know, it's but if you like Bigfoot type shit, you know, I think it's worth a watch. Definitely, it's got some good acting.
I'll watch that. I'll be watching that.
It's
tomorrow.
got Grandpa from House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can't.
Very young.
Yeah.
He's very young in this one. But so yeah, that and then I guess I can kind of mention this one. Perfume of the Lady in Black.
Yeah.
Recently covered this on Chris C's channel, but you could put it right there with Short Night of Glass Dolls. It's pretty slow. It's not gonna be for everybody. Nothing really happens for like 80 minutes, but and it's 99 minutes. So, but I mean, it's really shot really well. It's got good acting. Mimsy Farmer could be her best performance. That's up for debate.
Any performance is up for debate.
Yeah.
What about
true.
body
Like,
count? She was in Body Count.
She's still like she is very sedated looking. Her acting too. So.
Like
Yeah,
the director on that said you got 3 facial expressions, and that's it during the whole film.
She's a one-trick pony, you know. I mean, really. She plays the doughy-eyed, she don't know shit kind of.
I think Autopsy might be her best movie.
That's what I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what. Sure. Yeah, Chris and Dirk said. Yeah. I think Perfume is. I don't know. I just think that film is so atmospheric, and just. Yeah. I love everything about that.
Nothing is what it seems. It's kind of like reminds me of if y'all have ever seen The Believers.
No, Martin Sheen.
Yeah,
I have, but it's been like 20, 30. You know, whenever it came out.
And I was thinking about that film when I watched this. I was like, man, it's similar to that kind of, except for the shit with Mimsy Farmer, what her character does. But yeah, man. That's I might have went overboard a little bit on the shit that I'm talking about. But,
that's okay.
But yeah.
All right, we'll go with Darren.
Yep. So I've been basically just watching stuff to cover again in streams. You know, so later tonight, me and Dirk's going to be doing 3 Dario Argento films. So I went back and rewatched Giallo. And man, like I say, I'll get into a full review like later, but you know, it stars Adrian Brody. He stars as Inspector Enzo L. Volfi. He's trailing this like sadistic serial killer. As a mutilated bodies of beautiful women, you know, they kind of litter Milan. He's racing, you know, to find out who's doing this. He gets so basically the killer is like often like students, you know, foreign students. Oh man, this is wild because you've got the killer is actually, you know, and I'm going to spoil it outright.
Yeah.
He's played by the detective as well, Adrian Brody, and he looks like this friggin' version of like Dario Argento. He's got like curly hair, big. Like the only thing you can tell is Brody is like he's got a big nose.
But he's he's got jaundice or something, right? Because he's yellowish.
Yeah. So he's basically yellow.
Yeah.
And the way the whole case is like solved as well.
Yeah, because his mother was a heroin addict, right?
Yeah, hepatitis B, I think. But this detective, Adrian Brody, he's very unorthodox. He works alone in his cellar type thing, you know. And it takes this woman, like, which is a sister of a victim, to like solve the case for him. There's a whole thing about the production and all that shit, man, which is hilarious. But we'll be going into that in more detail tonight. So there's that one. I watched Caliber 9.
Oh, yeah.
A week or so ago. Again on the channel. It's directed by Fernando De Leo, who did Slaughter Hotel and Naked Violence, starring Barbara Boucher, Luigi Pistilli, and Frank Wolf. So you've got this guy just out of prison, Ugo Piazzi. He meets his former boss and psychopath, you know, gangster Rocco, who's played by Mario Adorf. And he enjoys like sick and twisted violence and torture. The thing is, the gangsters and the police believe that this guy Hugo's like hidden £300,000 from a job they did 3 years earlier. The boss is played like the American crime boss is played by Max from Heart to Heart, which I thought was quite kind of funny, you know, because I grew up with that. But this one's in everyone's top, say, 3 Italian crime films, or top 5 or top 10 or whatever.
It's damn good. It really is.
It's really good, yeah. I mean, you got to see it just for the introduction of Barbara Boucher. As she enters this film, she's dancing on a table in like a gold bikini.
Beaded.
Well, it's got things on it where it shakes.
Yeah, like beads shaking.
Right.
It's like this tiny little table in like a strip club or bar.
She's popping that thing.
Yeah. It is crazy, man. It's worth the price alone just to see that.
I thought she was going to start pee-popping on the handstand there for a minute.
Right, yeah. But you've got the scarf seller from Torso, Ernesto Colli. He turns up as well in like a very memorable scene. But the whole film's got like 2 or 3 like really mad twists towards the end, which I won't spoil, but I mean everyone should see Caliber 9. Last but not least, oh man, this was bad. So me and Dirk was going to cover like the sets, The Devil's Game. You know, it's like kind of famous because Mario Bava did his last film. Supposedly, yeah.
That
so
shit don't feel like fucking Bava.
It is awful, right? So I watched the first one called The Sandman. So basically 6 mini films by different Italian directors of the time, telling like 19th century stories, horror stories. What you have here basically is like a very cheap kind of production. It's like a stage play. It really is. It's like one of the old film plays you used to see on TV. You've got this student. He sees this young woman in the window one day. He starts becoming obsessed with her. But things are not quite what they seem because she seems really odd. You'll work it out straight away within 10 minutes, you know, and it's even in the synopsis, you know, what the actual, you know, thing is. So don't go in expecting too much, you know. I would just say it's just boring more than anything else.
I tried to watch that one with that Bava directed and
with the bronze statue or whatever.
Luke Miranda and Daria Nicolodi.
Yeah,
and it's rough, man.
Luckily, I didn't spend full price on it, or I'd have been pissed more.
Yeah, I didn't either. But I mean, the quality is shit though. It looks like a VHS.
Oh, you know? Yeah. I mean, it's not super pristine for sure.
I didn't even get to the second one. I mean, I'll try and watch a few of them as we go, randomly. But
I'll keep it because it's got Bob's name on it. But that's about the only reason.
Yeah. But that was it. That's the ones I've seen this week.
All right, Miss Dana Lynn.
All right, I'm gonna make this quick because I haven't really had a chance to watch a lot of stuff, so it's just been here and there. So, I did watch Graduation Day again. Joe Bob was showing it. what was it, Friday?
Yeah, it's
I just-
it's on Shutter now, but I didn't watch it then.
I finally ordered that, so I got it coming. I got it for the low.
Yeah.
But Graduation Day is your standard run of the mill slasher for that time period. But I think it's got some good kills in it. And here's something I want to share. I think I've shared this before, but I just find
Thank
it
you for
funny.
sharing.
Yes, Steve. Linnea Quigley is in this film quite prominently at some point. But what's funny about the whole thing is the character that Linnea Quigley plays of Dolores was played by two different actresses. It was played mainly by Linnea Quigley, but they started out with another actress. And I believe it was the same actress that was at the beginning of Bloody Birthday in the graveyard.
That would be weird.
Huh?
Wouldn't that be weird since that's a Spanish movie?
What?
Bloody.
You're
you
thinking
said Bloody
Moon.
Birthday.
Bloody
Yeah.
Birthday. I'm like, what are you talking about? Spanish
Sorry.
movie, but
I heard Bloody.
okay. But anyways, this girl apparently didn't have a problem with showing her boobs on Bloody Birthday, but Graduation Day she refused to do the nudity. They needed somebody to do the nudity, so Linnea Quigley was brought in. That girl was fired, and Linnea Quigley was brought in.
What was her name again in the movie?
Huh?
Linnea Quigley was playing who?
Dolores?
That rhymes with what?
Oh, gosh, Steve, come
Okay,
on.
sorry.
Why do you always do this to me whenever I'm describing movies? I'm going to start
All right,
doing that
I
to you.
apologize. I'm sorry.
Okay, so it's funny because the opening scene where the girl Laura dies during a track meet, basically, and you see Linnea Quigley reacting to that girl's death, but then you go into another scene and it's the other actress complaining that they can't take a track picture without Paula.
Yeah.
Then it switches back to pretty much all Linnea Quigley, but that just goes to show they film things out of order. But I just think it's kind of funny.
Ain't Christopher George pretty pervy in that one?
Yes, he's very pervy in this one.
He walked up there. Have you seen my Playgirl? Have you seen that?
I've seen those pictures from.
If you want to come back to my trailer, I'll show it to you in person.
Anyways.
Oh, George is packing in his day, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
He's like a gorilla. He looks like a orangutan a little bit because he's always hair.
He was hairy. But Dirk, he's extremely pervy in this, especially during the gymnastics scene, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, he's all up in there.
too much. Yeah. Okay, so I watched that. Steve, stop!
What?
You're distracting me.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, you know it takes me double time to talk about these movies when you distract me. So I also went back, and I guess I was on a slasher kick or something. I went back and watched Sorority House Massacre, the original one, just for kicks, not because I think that movie's any serious piece of cinema, not even a serious piece of horror cinema, but it was kind of like, Roger Corman had a lot, God rest his soul, had a lot to do with the Slumber Party Massacre and the Sorority House Massacre films, at least early on. And it was kind of my tribute to Roger Corman too, if I can use that as an excuse.
Did you have a seance, Dana?
No, I did not have a seance.
Dana, if I remember rightly, is that
Bring out the Ouija board?
Nah, I didn't do that.
That one is shot really well from what I remember. Has it got like blue lighting and all that?
I think, yeah, it's very stylish for that kind of low budget, essentially, slasher film. Yeah. It's pretty glossy and stuff. Like, usually you don't see that with these types of films. So that's another one. I don't think I need to go into detail with the plot. The plot is Sorority House Massacre tells you everything you need to know about this movie. The title does. And so the last one I want to talk about, and I know it's been 3 weeks or whatever since I've been on here. 2 weeks at least.
2,
Okay.
3.
So me and Steve went back and watched Scary Movie and Scary Movie 2, and just I had just forgotten how funny the original Scary Movie was. And so I really enjoyed going back and watching that and seeing all the craziness that's in Scary Movie. So if you haven't seen Scary Movie in a while, which is basically a takeoff of Scream, and other movies that were coming out at that time period, if you just want to have a good laugh, watch Scary Movie. Unless you have something against the Wayans or something like that, and you just don't want to watch anything they had to do.
They didn't hang out with P. Diddy, did they?
I don't know.
Then I wouldn't have nothing against them if they did,
No, not yet.
I saw that way back when in the pictures in the cinema.
Yeah.
But do you think it's better than Student Bodies? Because I don't.
Oh
No.
because Student Bodies is in a class all its own.
That's
I think.
nostalgia for me too. I'll
Yeah,
never forget
yeah.
student bodies.
That's the
Watching that
best
shit on
laugh,
USA the
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
time. That's what I seen it the first time.
Saturday Nightmares.
I don't. I think maybe I rented it.
I
or
probably
something.
rented
I
on
watched it on
VHS. Because I taped that where he goes that most R-rated movies are more popular, and then he goes, "Well, fuck you,"
Yeah.
and then so he
Yeah.
can get a rated R rating.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it for me.
I just remember the gum, him stepping in the gum and shit.
Yeah, I want to kill the
Yeah.
kid with the gum.
All right, so I've only got maybe 2. Yesterday I watched that one movie from A24 called Civil War.
Oh, that was very disturbing.
Is it?
I mean,
I
to
thought it was.
a degree. I mean, obviously, it's taking what's going on today to the next level, where a couple states secede from the union, and it's weird because it seems like they're just basically there's war all over, fighting all over the country, and people getting killed, and they got these reporters going around. They're going to Washington,
I thought you said
D.C.
it was just the United States.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. But yeah, it's just the U.S. Our dollar is so bad that Canadian dollars are worth more.
Damn. That's pretty bad.
So they're traveling to Washington D.C. to have an interview with the president, which apparently nobody likes, and I don't know what's going on, but it's just nuts, and it's okay, but it's not something I'll need to see again.
Right. It's very divisive, would you say?
I don't even really know, because it just seems like, hey, there's bad people, and they're not really like, hey, black and white.
All those military guys, it's pretty black and white.
Well, there's different military guys, so it's just, everybody's kind of shitty, and I don't know why these reporters would risk their lives for this, so it
Those
doesn't.
reporters do that a lot.
I know, but I don't know. In this situation, I definitely wouldn't be doing it, but it's all right. But the second one I will watch again probably is. It took me a while to get The Sect on 4K.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
I like that shit, man.
Oh,
I'm glad. I almost talked about that one. I'm glad I didn't pull it.
I mean, I liked it. Back in the day, I had a VHS. It's called The Devil's Daughter.
Yep.
And I liked it. It's just, and I think I might have saw this on HBO back in the mid to late 90s. I don't remember, but either way, I liked it. It's got Jamie Lee Curtis's sister,
Yeah.
Kelly Curtis, and she does look like her quite a bit and sound like her. I don't know the age difference. I think she was in her 30s or something at this point, but though she could pass for late 20s, she was pretty young looking.
You know, would it be blasphemous to say I like that better than Cemetery Man?
Uh,
Oh
'Cause
wow,
I
That's
think
a hot
me personally.
but I mean, I just it's a real cool story, and there's a lot of aspects that I never caught before.
yeah,
Um the beginning of it's nuts. It's like a Manson kind of thing where this guy, the guy from church, the main character who's working at the church, he's like a Jesus character, walks out of the desert and they're playing like America, Horse with No Name,
Would you
yeah, and
call him?
Space
he's a big
Jesus.
Yeah.
he's a big Rolling Stones fan too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of Rolling Stones references in the movie, but someone's saying the church is boring. I don't know. I like it,
I like the church, yeah.
but
I like the church too. It's you know,
But the sect is really, I mean, the picture quality I think is really an uptick. It looks great. There's a lot of documentaries and stuff on here that I need to go back and watch. It's just really good. I'm glad that I waited and got it from Amazon. It was, I think it was a little cheaper. I don't remember. I think actually it was probably, this one was probably
Well,
close
it's
because
like-
I got the Blu-ray by
Yeah.
mistake and I had to send it back. And then when I got my credit, then I ordered this. So I think it was still $40 or something. It was still crazy.
they do a damn good job though. It comes with a soundtrack too, or probably.
No,
Okay.
I don't think so. I mean, at least this edition didn't.
Maybe if you got
Maybe
it
the
from-
direct.
Okay, that's the one thing I do like about Severin though. They'll send you the damn soundtrack with the
Yeah,
with a lot of these bigger releases. So.
yeah. I mean, the only drawback about getting anything from Severin and Vinegar Syndrome is the wait.
Mhm.
Yeah,
They
I'm still
have all-
waiting for a couple.
They all have these pre-orders, and they're 2 months in the future. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't
waiting.
understand. Why don't you just have the product and then say, hey, here's the sale, and then you get it within 2 weeks or something. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know,
I guess
but, you know.
they got to make sure they
yeah,
get enough orders, and then they can make them.
but they're making 6,000 copies of it anyway, right? So,
Well, that's
Or
what they
four-
say, but
okay, well, maybe that's true.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They might be like,
Well, they're fucking people because we're fucking themselves because I see. Hey, we got 4 or 6,000 edition or copies. I'm just gonna wait until it goes on sale, maybe. So
yeah,
I'm not gonna be in a hurry if they got that many copies
right. I'll do the same thing.
on Crazy Fat Ethel. I'm just gonna
I'm
wait.
not jumping right. Yeah,
Oh
day one
man,
on
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Or did you pre-order the Case of the Bloody Iris though?
I did, but I'm still waiting for it from Diabolic. I ordered that way back when, but then I saw people start getting them and shit.
Really?
Yeah, they started to ship out now.
Fro-
So you'll probably end up getting that.
Wes got one, and he got like a damn. I don't know if I'll get this or not. I don't know if it's just but he got like a mouse pad and all kinds of shit with it. And I'm like,
Wes has got the
Yeah.
inside
mouse
track.
pad.
Yeah.
I
That's
tried
for-
to win that because they did a competition on
Ah.
the website. And
I didn't know that because it says my pre-order on Amazon says June 25th.
Well, I ordered from Diabolic. I didn't think Amazon would have that one. And I ordered something else from Diabolic, and I'm still waiting on it too. It was supposed to be released in late April, and here it is, July or June almost.
Okay.
But yeah, that's about it. I can't think of anything else I watched. I was going to ask Darren, have you ever heard a show
Right, okay.
from the '60s called Adam Animate?
No.
Oh shit!
No.
Well,
you know
it's
much
on.
about it? Or?
Well, it's on. Some of the episodes are on YouTube. It was basically BBC wanted to have their own kind of show like the Avengers and some other shows. It's not really like that per se, but it's about this heroic swashbuckler guy. And in 1902, he gets frozen by this evil guy, and they demolish this in the 1960s and wake him up, and then he.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't watched the rest of the
Is
episode.
this the one where it hurts your eyes?
Yeah, it's not great quality, but you know. And then also I watched an episode of The Avengers from 1961 with is his name Ian Henry?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and it supposedly had Patrick Macnee in it as well, but he didn't show up. So it's kind of weird seeing something like that I've watched all my life and then see this earlier version of it. And they apparently have more episodes like of that early seasons on YouTube. So I watched those. But that's
Have you
about
seen Sapphire and Steel?
Yeah, I've got the DVD set when it first came out.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I haven't really watched a lot of it, which it's more of a serial kind of thing, like the different seasons or something.
Honest, from what I remember, it might be like scientific as well. Like
Well, it's kind of sci-fi more than anything. I think there might be a season or whatever with ghosts and stuff, but
yeah, it was decent from what I remember.
Yeah, I think it's since come out on Blu-ray, but I don't know if I could, watch that.
Yeah, I know.
It's a little dry, but I want to watch it at some point. But you got to find time for everything.
Absolutely, yeah.
But so we'll go to Darren as he's going to talk about the Devil's Honey, which we get a little thing at the end that tells us about the Devil's Honey.
The Devil's Honey.
Honey pot, yes.
Yeah, we sure do.
And then did you hear what was there was supposed to be originally a mix of like the Beyond and an erotic thriller.
It was supposed to be a sequel to the Beyond.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I'm glad they didn't go that route.
They should have brought Fritzy back. I don't think he did the music for this. I don't think.
No, Claudio Natilli did the music, which I love, by the way, like you were saying earlier.
Yeah,
you go to like an outside cafe and you got that.
Yeah.
I hear that. You know what the image is going through my mind.
But you can't. Once you hear that music, you can't get that scene into your head. Like it just keeps popping into.
Well,
your head.
it's definitely a scene. Does anybody else got the poster for it?
No.
Oh no, I'd love.
I got the poster, and it's basically just it's like this for the most part.
Okay,
it's
awesome.
Exactly like that.
Years ago, I don't buy posters anymore because they're too expensive, but I still got a ton of them.
Hell yeah!
Right, so I hadn't seen this I'd never seen it up until like fairly recently because one of our friends like Gizmo keeps on about how good it is, and so it's The Devil's Honey, 1986, directed by Lucio Fulci, also called like Dangerous Obsession, which kind of makes sense as well, So it stars Brett Halsey, Corinne Clary. She was in like Hitchhike with David Hess.
Yeah.
Bianca Marshall, who's the
Blanca.
sister of, Bianca, is it?
Blanca, I think.
She's the sister of the main lead in opera, Christina. So you've got this young woman. She abducts her doctor, whom she holds responsible basically for the death of her boyfriend, and she subjects this like doctor to like various like torture acts and all that. So this opens up, I think, with one of the best openings I've ever seen in a film, man. And I don't mean that just by being a male and being sexist or anything like that. It's just awesome from the start. Maybe I do a little bit. But I gotta try and be respectful because Dana's in you. But
that's okay.
I don't know, respect could go all out the window with this one. But so you got Johnny. He's this musician. He's doing this recording in a studio. He's playing. His girlfriend's watching him, like Jessica, and she starts like licking her lips and giving him the eye. And this is like in a full studio with his producers and all that. Right. All this, like, and he's kind of like this, like, sex addict.
Yeah.
So basically, even with the producers and everyone there, he starts getting it on with her. They start getting it on. So the producers, like, kind of say, we're going to leave the room and let you get into it.
Yeah, he says, I need to practice.
Yeah. And then
I want to play something just for you, or something.
Yeah, this is for you,
man.
You know what I was thinking of during all
I can
this?
say is you'll never look at saxophones the same way again.
No.
I'll tell you.
I was thinking of that scene. I don't know how many of y'all have seen the Doors movie, But there's
Oh,
a
yeah.
scene in it where Jim Morrison's character, Val Kilmer, and his girlfriend are she's basically pleasuring him orally in the recording studio as he's singing. So
Oh, yeah.
that's what I was
Right.
thinking about during this.
Also,
Yeah, yeah.
you know what else crossed my mind? Bill Clinton played the saxophone, and we all know he was a freak with old Lewinsky.
Yeah. I heard
He liked his cigars. Is all I'm gonna say.
this is his favorite movie.
Right. Yeah. So he's basically pleasuring his girlfriend with this saxophone. Like you say, the music kicks in, and it's brilliant. You can't even put it into words how good it is.
Yeah.
And but yeah, like I say, so pretty much he's this sex addict. And with a girlfriend looking as hot as she is, like, who can blame him at this point, you know? She's just stunning. We get introduced to, like, this doctor played by Brett Halsey. He's like a highly trained surgeon. He's got this wife, Carol, played by Chlorine Kelly, who I said earlier. And she's fairly hot for, like, a middle-aged woman, I thought.
I always thought she was British, but no, she's Italian.
Yeah,
or
she's
something.
Italian.
She's Italian, is she? Yeah. She did a few
Did
Italian
she?
films.
Something about? Didn't she do something like a Bond movie or something? Or maybe I'm just crazy.
Oh, yeah,
She
she was in Moonraker.
That's right. I thought so.
Yep.
Right. And she's like really hot, and he's just kind of not interested.
What's the deal? You got to
Go
put
on.
like, was it fingernail polish?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna come to that now. We're gonna come to that. So he visits this prostitute, right? And there's this really weird scene where she starts putting nail polish all over her crotch.
All her
I don't
stockings.
think I would do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
on
she
top
was
of her
fixing her
stockings.
a run in her stocking, and he's like,
But
"Oh,
for
go
some
on."
For some fucking bizarre reason, it kind of turns the two of them on.
Yeah,
And they're like he kind of starts having sex with her. He literally takes like 20 seconds and he's done. And
yeah,
then-
but don't
oh,
forget
man.
he grabs some of that nail polish, and rubs it all over her face.
Yeah. There's kind of the whole like run up to that scene.
Yeah.
And then he turns really like a real dickhead on her as well. Like,
Well, yeah,
like,
I mean,
he comes out with some crackers. He says something like, "Oh, what do you want? Flowers?" And then
Yeah.
like she goes to go, and he goes,
right?
"What do you want me to treat you like a lady or something?"
Yeah.
And it is so
Yeah,
mad.
get the fuck
man.
out of here, pretty much.
Yeah, well, basically get the fuck out of here. Like, I've had my fucking pleasure.
Yeah.
But the film is like sick, twisted, perverted. I fucking love it, man. So you got this doctor now is like their marriage is completely on the rocks. She realizes he's visiting prostitutes as well. There's just no passion there whatsoever. So it's kind of like two stories intertwined, like two really bad relationships type thing gone wrong, and they kind of get intertwined. So you've got Johnny then and Jessica. It gets even more perverted, because they're riding down like on a motorbike. And he basically wants her to jerk him off while she's on the back riding on his motorbike.
He's swerving back and forth and shit.
Yeah, obviously, he's swerving all over the place. And she kind of seems reluctant to do these acts, but pressure into doing them as well. And as the film goes on, it gets more and more abusive. But she goes along with it. She strangely is kind of getting off on some of these acts anyway as well.
Well, there's like that. What do they call that? The trauma. I forget. Like from women that are abused.
Yeah, which comes in later actually, because the abuser, the abuse turns into the abuser in this case as well. Because we are going to spoil this full on. You can't not really. There's a really weird scene as well when they're on the stairs, and he sodomizes her.
Oh yeah.
And at first she's like, no, and then she kind of gets into it at the end. It's like kind of like rape, which I don't take.
Oh yeah,
lightly.
it's not kind of like rape.
It pretty much is rape. Yeah. it's yeah, like you say, it goes into places where you didn't think it was gonna go.
Yeah, he's like telling her.
He goes into places.
He goes
Yeah.
into places where you
Right.
exactly.
He's like,
exactly.
just bear with me. You're gonna enjoy this.
Right, yeah,
Trust
yeah.
me.
But she does then. She ends up getting off on it, and oh
Yeah.
man. So yeah, so basically then, you know, he gets on his bike. She says, "Oh, you don't love me. All you want to do is these, like, you know, rude acts and all that."
Yeah, she's just a piece of meat.
So, yeah. So he gets on his bike and he starts riding around on his bike singing, "I love you, I love you." He falls off, he hits his head. It's like, yeah.
But he's okay.
He's okay, like, for like hours and hours, like, basically, until he gets to the studio, which is fucking bizarre.
Well, when he's blowing on that thing too hard, and I guess it
causes
kills
an
him.
hemorrhage or something
Yeah.
like that. You know? But you got this doctor, he's still like a piece of shit to his wife. Like, he's still seeing all these prostitutes. So there's a scene named Jessica, she's in the like music studio. He's not feeling particularly well. You know, he's trying to get on with doing the recording. And obviously his head is hurting from, you know, what's happened earlier.
He's all sweaty as hell.
Yeah. She kind of tells this music producer that she's pregnant as well, which comes into it a little bit later.
Right.
But then he just full on collapses while he's doing this recording. He's rushed to hospital. Like, Carol and the doctor are basically having this big friggin' argument. She says she wants to leave him. So as he's attending to Johnny now in the hospital, this doctor, he's got all this shit with his wife going through his mind. So he's not particularly, you know, 100% on board, on ball, and he kind of, like, basically Johnny dies, you know, maybe through fault of the doctor, we don't know. I don't know how Jessica knows this, by the way, with all this going on with his wife.
She don't. She just blames him.
Yeah. So she just, which is strange, I thought, you know.
Well, she's fucked in the head too. She's been like, that's what I was trying to think of. It's called battered woman syndrome.
Right. Yeah.
Like where they're abused, so then they expect that shit, kind of.
So they can't. Yeah. So,
but at the same time, they hate it. And I don't know. It's fucked up. It's a fucked up thing. The whole thing. But.
This film's a fucked up thing, really.
Yeah.
But, so Jessica then she plays back these videos of her and Johnny together. Like, you basically see more and more abuse going on. So the doctor now, he turns around to his wife and he says he wants like one more chance to keep the relationship going.
Yeah.
And at this time as well, Jessica's sending him notes saying, "Why'd you let him die?" She's phoning him, like abusing him over the phone, saying, "Why'd you let my boyfriend die?"
Yeah, she snaps pretty much.
Oh, she turns full psycho at some point, you know, like. So Carol then basically wants her husband to have another go at like satisfying her.
Yeah, because she's going to divorce his ass, take all his money.
Right, this is
his money.
Yeah.
Probably.
So she gets on the bed, she's all naked and all, and she's like saying, "Treat me like a whore, I'm your whore."
Yeah. I'll be one of your whores.
You see, yeah, exactly right. So he seems to be getting into it, and then the fucking phone rings and puts him off.
So I was reading about that, and
go on, yeah.
That's a parallel to Fulci, with his marriage. So he would always put his work ahead of his wife.
Okay. So, yeah.
That's what I was reading a little bit on that.
Right, that would kind of make sense. As kind like Argento does that a lot as well in his films, you know.
Yeah. A lot of these directors, they're gonna throw themselves in there somewhere.
Right. Yeah. So the film takes a complete, like, I don't know, 180 change at this point.
Oh, right? Yeah.
So Jessica basically kidnaps the doctor, right? He's in the back of his car waiting when, you know, she goes out in the pouring rain that night, you know.
Oh, man. That's where you see her mind is deteriorated. Like,
yeah.
When she walks in that rain and shit.
But, yeah, she goes completely, like, full on psycho, man. She drugs him, like, she basically ends up tying him up. She's got like this fucking noose around his neck as well. Like, like if he moves or something, she could kill him basically whenever she wants.
And she's got the damn German Shepherd on a leash.
Yeah, she's frightening him with
motherfucker,
German Shepherd. and he ends up pissing himself as well. Like, he's that scared. Like, and he's this big like wuss character as well. Like, you know, he seems, which is even more weirder as it goes on. What happens? But like she tells him, you know, if he really wants to die, he could just hang himself at any moment. She said the alternative is worse than death, about what she's going to do to him. There's more flashbacks. There's like flashback to Johnny telling her like he doesn't want kids, and she basically wants a baby. And again, that comes into it a little
And that's
bit.
where his is that the producer or whatever is telling her that she needs to have an abortion?
Yeah, because he doesn't want to get his music career and all that. But then she's kind of got this doctor tied up on a leash, and she's like kind of walking him through the ocean.
Yeah.
It's really weird, man.
Holding him at gunpoint and drowning him.
Yeah, drowning him and giving him the kiss of life, and then doing that
licking all over his face,
man.
resuscitates him, and then it starts doing the lick, the tongue.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tongue licking in this one.
Man, I'm thinking sign me up, man, because if I would love to be the doctor at this point.
I heard she's a bitch, though.
The abuse he's taking, but man, it's worth it for her, like, you know. But so we get another flashback. You've got Johnny, he's filming her like with a gun between her legs. So basically now, on top of all the abuse she's giving this doctor, she's got a gun as well. This fucking guy's terrified, you know. She gets full on naked at this point, and she starts basically like, you know, you can see her full on naked, tempting like him, basically, you know.
Yeah.
She's giving him fucking dog food to eat. Just
oh man, that shit looks rough too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. And then he reads out this poem that like his friend said, something to do with like, for she's the devil's honeypot, and you will drown in her, you fool. Like, you know, and that's just like a short version of it. But things get really weird.
I'm gonna get that tattooed right here.
Yeah. Man, it comes into play at the end as well, which is like really strange. But you know, you think she's gonna go one way then, because she lets her doctor basically kiss her all over from head to foot, you know. And then in the middle of that, she just turns around, gets this hot wax, and starts pouring it all over his back. Yeah. And the guy's in agony, like, you know, he doesn't know where he stands, type thing, you know. She said something as well. She says, "My name is Fear, but you can call me Jessica," when he asks her name.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, at this point, like I say, with the Johnny stuff, you know, the flashbacks keep coming thick and fast. Like, there's one with a doll as well, because he gives her this doll, and she basically expects his doctor to like operate on this doll. That kind of tells you how far mentally gone she is. So she tells the doctor then, you know, basically start praying, because I'm going to kill you at any minute, basically. So when you think it can not get as fucked up as it is, it does with the cinema scene. I think they're in Venice, aren't they? They're like in love. They're in Venice. Like, his music producer's there with some woman, I think. And that's where Lucio Fulci's cameo comes in, which is great.
Yeah.
They buy this like mystical, like magical, like bracelet.
That's where you get the Fulci cameo, right?
Yeah, which is great. Like, you know, and even though he was in ill health when he done this, or just before he did this film, he kind of looks okay in that scene. But yeah, the first one basically to stop loving in the relationship has got to discard this bracelet, you know?
Right.
Like, so they all go after this. Yeah, some mystical, magical shit. Like, but they all go off to the cinema to watch this film, and things get fucking dark.
Damn.
Things get dark.
That's when I'm like, what the fuck?
So they're basically sat in this cinema, like they're full on, you know, kissing and starting to get it on type thing.
Johnny's pressuring her, you know.
Right, yeah. And then you see his music producer, like, who's next to him, just get down on his knees and start blowing Johnny. And I mean, if
he's kissing her.
Yeah. Right. So there's some kind of freeway going on, which obviously, you know, plays into the film a lot, because this is what's fucked up Jessica's mind throughout. This is where she kind of, you know, it's sort of like she turns like into a psycho, and it's all building up to the fact of all the abuse she's been going through. She throws away the bracelet. because she basically realizes at this point, long after he's dead, that like this was just no good, the relationship.
Yeah, she loved him, but he just basically was just using her.
And it's took her all this time to like work that out.
Yeah.
But the final twist in the film is she sets the doctor free, basically. You know, you think he's gonna go, you know, be on his way type thing, go to the police, what have you. But he's fallen in love with her, is what he did, you know.
He's became like she was.
Yeah, the abuse, you know, with the abuser and all that. That's the type of I think that's the story Fulci was going for, you know. But it's kind of strange, you know. She asked him the last line of the film. She asked him to reread that poem out about the devil's honey, and then it ends. You got that amazing soundtrack, you know.
And you see the gun. You see the gun. So Fulci was saying that basically nobody understood the film when he made it. He said that it was it was about the loneliness of sadomasochism.
It is lonely.
Right.
And also the last scene with the gun is like couples like that have no future and their shit's gonna end in blood. Like
Dude, I think there's a deep meaning in there amongst all the fucking you know bizarre sexual stuff that's going on. There's a deep meaning to the film, probably with Fulci.
And I know a lot of people have said that this was his favorite film, but I call bullshit on that. Like,
no, it wasn't. No,
because he says this was a desperate survival project to come back to reestablish himself because he'd been sick from hepatitis and then it turned into cirrhosis of the liver. So,
So this was what 86, so 2 years after Murder Rock. And this is like no film you'll ever see. I don't think you'll ever see anything like this again. You know,
I think this is his last solid film. You know, like as a whole. You know.
Right. Yeah, I can't think of anything after this. I've not seen everything.
And would y'all consider this like the sister of New York Ripper?
Oh man, I don't know whether you could pair this with anything really.
I see the similarities except the gore and violence, but I mean, it's not as strong. That's why I say the little sister, you know, like the New York Ripper.
I mean, would you put it in with the likes of Basic Instinct and you know, Fatal Attraction?
It's stronger than those.
Like, it's stronger. It's more obviously, you know,
as far as like sexuality,
pornographic at times.
Because I mean, the chick's naked the whole damn time.
Oh man, she's like honestly, she's hot as hell. Her and her sister. I'd love to have seen her sister. Like,
so I found out some shit though. It's pretty funny, man. Like about Brett Halsey, he was saying that he couldn't stand her. And
I read
neither could Fulci. Fulci didn't like her, and the producer didn't like her. And Halsey said that as far as she was undisciplined and she didn't have any talent, but other than that, she was great, is what he said.
I mean, she did have one talent, like, you know, which we see quite a lot during the film.
And the producer, so when the film wrapped, the producer drove her to the airport, and then as soon as they got out, he punched her in the mouth. And she hit the ground, and she called the cops. And when the cops got there, he didn't apologize or shit. He said, "I've been waiting days to do that."
Wow. Her sister was difficult as well, doing opera with Argento. Because in that documentary,
man, you know?
that Hannibal documentary.
The bitch sisters.
Yeah, man. But obviously, the big thing now is to find out what Dana thinks of this.
Oh, shit.
I'm intrigued, man.
Well...
At what point, Dana, did you want to turn this off? Probably 5 minutes?
Well, I think this would probably shock the hell out of all you guys.
Oh my God, she loves it.
Okay.
No.
He's going to go for 4K, Dana.
No. I'm not going to go that
he's about to buy a saxophone.
But this movie keeps you going so much with the sheer audacity of it that you really can't turn this movie off. You got to see what kind of crazy shit is going to happen next. And I think that's what happened with me in this film. I was just so mesmerized by what in the hell was Fulci doing with this film? Like, was he on drugs or something? Because he's just going from one outrageous scene to the other, just piled one on top of the other.
Well,
go ahead, Dirk.
I'm sorry. It's kind of like he only did one Policioteschi too, right? He did Contraband.
Yeah.
So this was kind of like his shot at the erotic type film. But there was a film called La Gabbia that was stolen from him. That's exact, and it's got this chick in it too, Blanca Marcelac.
Right. Yeah. The guy directed that was the guy from Deep Red. The one who gets dragged by the rubbish cat in Deep Red was directed La Gabbia.
Well, yeah, Fulci felt like he was had that stolen from him because he was sick. So he said, "Fuck it." He redid the movie. So it's the exact same plot, the La Gabbia movie or whatever. The Trap. It's also called The Trap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Oh, no problem. But yeah, I mean, this is not a movie that I want to watch, every week or anything like that. And if I was of the male persuasion, I could see myself watching this a lot more, because Darren ain't lying when he says the chick is hot in there. I mean, from a female perspective, she is hot. And I could see guys wanting to see that over and over again. So I don't blame any guy for getting his jollies from watching her.
I'm glad you said that.
He's let off the hook there.
Yeah.
I didn't think she's pretty, but I'm not.
But
as he says with his wife next to him.
Yeah, he's being real careful. But I didn't mind it per se. It's just not. If I think of Fulci and I want to watch a Fulci movie today, that's not going to be at the top of my list of Fulci films to watch.
No, it wouldn't. But I would say it's probably his last good one, like really good one. It's well made, shot, and
yeah, he did Pneumonia. Did he? Well, this is '86. So what was his next movie? Was it Pneumonia?
No, it was Enigma.
Oh, Enigma. I mean, that's slightly, but
That's
it's in
a big drop.
It's. Yeah, I don't know if it was because of the budget's just getting cut or something, but yeah. But it's Enigma's is pretty good. It's kind of nuts.
I like Enigma. Yeah, it's like his take on Carrie, I guess you'd say, kind of like in
it's
a
got
way.
like there's Suspiria in there as well.
Suspiria and maybe even Phenomena.
Yeah.
But
it's got Snell Rape. I mean, that's some good stuff.
Yeah. Halloween 3. Maybe.
Yeah.
So what was his last few films then? Because he did Door into Silence '91, I think it was. Did he do anything after that?
He got Cat in the Brain.
Yeah.
Right?
Well.
Okay, that was 1990, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is, there's something. Touch of Death with Brett Halsey.
Oh man, that's got Brett Halsey in as well. That film is terrible, man.
And that was something else with Brett Halsey. Like Fulci usually didn't like his male leads and stuff, but this guy was in like several of his films right at the end. He was in
really well,
Manhattan Baby, Pneumonia, Touch of Death. Like
he's got Brett Halsey's not his real name either. It was something like Oliver Hand. It was something he had. His middle name was all. It's weird.
They Americanized it probably.
Well, because he was at Cinema Wasteland years ago, and I was there, and I went to his panel, and he was talking about he was in the studio system with John Saxon.
Yeah.
So obviously westerns were big back in the 50s and stuff. So they were teaching him and John Saxon how to ride horses and shit.
Oh shit.
Oh man.
Yeah. And I know he was in Godfather 3 too.
Yes. I saw that. I saw that credit. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But he's still alive. He's like 91.
He worked with Freda and Baba, and he was on Dukes of Hazzard. He was also in a damn soap opera, man. Young and the Restless. Like,
he has that face for a soap opera.
Right. This kind of feels like a soap opera in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
way more erotic.
there was certain
Definitely
scenes.
the best part of it.
There's certain scenes in this that the quality looks horrible. It is like snow on an old TV when you're watching, and then it goes from that to like a pristine image, and it's just like very startling.
As if like a TV film type look, isn't it?
It's very foggy looking, the image on some parts of it. So I don't know if this new 4K maybe has a different source. I don't know.
Fulci could have just put, like fog in there. You just never know with.
Well,
Fulci.
I mean, it looks like basically
Vaseline on the lens.
Exactly, it looks like something that some effect that he didn't clean the lens or something.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Was he beating off between takes?
I mean, in terms of performances, do you think Brett Halsey's the best performance in the film by a mile? Because she hasn't got a lot to do apart from show off her body.
The dubbing makes it seem really weird. That's because the way they talk in these movies, the language is some of it's so strange and not very organic sounding to me. It just sounds like, they just trying to fit their lips with words. Right. So that's another quality of some of these, a lot of these movies that some of them it's a quality that you like, and then sometimes it's like it's funny because of the nonsense they say.
Right. Yeah. I would highly recommend this. Obviously to male viewers basically, but like
Valentine's Day.
Who knows? Some women could like this as well. You just never know, depending on what your persuasion is, really. I
got Tasha to watch, a good 20 minutes of it. So that was cool.
Oh man, I'd love to have seen that. I'd love to have seen her face.
She's like, "Who picked this?" I said, "Guess who?"
Me, unfortunately. But are we gonna carry on the role with Fulci, or who's gonna?
Well, unfortunately, Dana's got a roadblock to that.
Dana's breaking up the band here, so
breaking the Fulci train, huh?
Yeah.
It might not be a bad thing anyway.
Derailing the Fulci train.
Yeah. So, you ready for me to reveal this, Steve?
Do you want to get your prop? Oh, you got it.
I had this out because I had it for last night. So, I'm going out on a limb here. I don't know how popular this is going to be, but this is kind of carrying on the sleazy thing.
Sorry.
And I'm wanting to do Nightmare, Romano Scavellini's film.
Nightmare and the Damaged Brain.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
I love that film. Yeah. That's like underrated, I think.
So I'm gonna do. If you saw the thumbnail, I put myself in the saxophone guy. I put my face on it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do Dana for this one. That it's gonna be the lady with the decapitated head he sees. I'm gonna put her face on that.
I said,
oh
man,
man,
you can do that.
Yeah.
And then next time I'll do you guys.
No, I was saying the Dirt. You should do it like every week of yourself, or Dana. I mean, for me, I'd be okay.
If I got multiple things like the one I'm thinking about doing, I'll see if I can put it on everybody and see what it looks like.
That one for this one is hilarious, man.
I saw that thumbnail. I was cracking up, man. Shit.
Can we get a few little plugs in before we go?
You got it.
Right, so me and Dirk later on, I think, in about like 5 hours, is it, Dirk?
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing like 3 Dario Argento films. Do like Hitchcock, Giallo, and what was the other one, Dirk? Do like Hitchcock, Giallo.
You talking about Dark Glasses?
Dark Glasses, yeah.
Ah.
So we're going to be doing them later, like full on in depth. We've pretty much got Dead End Driving on Visited by Voices network coming up on Tuesday, but it's going to be recorded, so we're not sure when it's going to come out. And the films we're going to do there is Night of the Demon. What's the film? Creature from Black Lake. Don't Look in the Basement and Don't Answer the Phone. Like all the kind of grind hazy stuff. So I think I can't think of anything else.
Did you know there was a sequel to Don't Go in the Basement?
Oh yes, yeah. I've never
It's
seen
not-
it though.
it's not
Yeah.
good.
I had it. I don't know if I still have it since one of my hard drives died, but we watched it.
I'd say stick with the
Yeah, I mean,
original.
obviously not, but it's kind of funny to watch a movie that
It was like years later as well.
it's
that
like
one, wasn't
30, 40 years later, or
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was, at least 40 years later, trying to connect the movies. It doesn't work too good, but
it? Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that don't
yeah.
ever work out too good.
But yeah, that's what we got coming up. So
Great.
obviously, go over sub and all that good stuff.
yeah, links in the description and also on your screen right now in the chat. So we'll be back in a couple weeks with the old Nightmare in a Damaged Brain.
In a damaged brain.
Yeah, there we go. Dirk needs to redo the trailer for it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
thanks for everybody coming. 20 strong in here at the moment. Well, someone decided to leave, but appreciate it, and we'll be back next time. Peace.
Hell yeah.
Good one, guys.
Bye.
Later, yeah.